you're actually not bad at Tarkov. And you're winning more than you think. So was this clickbait? Not quite. Let's talk about this. Feeling like you're trash at the game is something even some of the top players feel. You see, the problem with Tarkov is that you never really know if you're really winning. Take myself as an example. A week ago, I decided to attempt to complete Jaeger's quest to kill Sturman 25 times on stream. And yesterday, I only needed 3 more kills to finally wrap up this quest. But instead, I had one of the worst Tarkov days in a long time. Or at least, it felt like that. For about 5 hours of hunting him down, I saw him only twice and died to him both times as well. The rest of the day, it was just Sturman-less woods runs. I just could no longer find him. I got off the stream feeling a little deflated. But when I look back at this day of Tarkov, it actually wasn't that bad. We survived more raids than we died that day, and I got a couple of good PMC kills along the way too. But why did it feel like such a bad day of Tarkov? It's because I was solely focused on trying to get Sturman, so if I didn't get him, I felt like a failure. But in reality, I actually had pretty good raids that day. The problem is, winning in this game can be subjective. The game never really tells you that you won a game. Unlike other games like Counter-Strike, Valorant, where there is a definitive winner, or in Battle Royales where the last man standing is the true victor. The closest thing to a definitive win in Tarkov is seeing the survive screen. But sometimes, even when we see the nice glowy green survive screen, it still doesn't feel like a true win. There are a lot of small wins we tend to disregard. We only really remember the big wins. You see, it's Tarkov's subjective perceived win that makes us feel like we never actually win in this game. We tend to only count the really crazy good raids as wins. The rest of the raids, unless something crazy happens, are either perceived as losses or it's like they never happened. Remember that raid where you ran through interchange and didn't find a single PMC, but you survived? Yeah, me neither. Although you survived, it felt uneventful. It felt like that raid never even happened. Then we go on to the next raid, get killed by a player, then suddenly we feel like we've been dying all day in Tarkov. But even dying in this game can still be a win. Tarkov has this natural way of making you feel like you're doing absolutely nothing right and all you're doing is just dying. To put things in perspective, I'm gonna break down what I consider is a successful raid regardless if you survived or not in 3 main points. Number 1, quest completion. Were you able to complete a quest before ending a raid or progress one step further? A perfect example, getting a 100-meter headshot for Shooterborn in Heaven despite a death is still a huge win. Number 2, a good fight. Regardless of the outcome, did you learn from the fight? Was there something you learned from your opponent? How could you have played that better? If you did play it at your best capacity, what did your opponent do better to win the fight? And how can you apply that to your own gameplay? And number 3, a new discovery. Did you find a new corner that Sturman or Killa sits at so you know which corner to pre-aim next time? Did you find a player holding a cheeky angle you've never seen before? Did you find a new Bitcoin spawn? And the list goes on. If any one of these things occurred in a raid, whether you survived or died, I'd consider that a pretty successful raid. Escape from Tarkov is not your typical shooter. There's more to it than just clicking heads. And that's exactly why we love this game.